I'm Lorena Luna. I'm a realtor here in the Fresno area, and I put this video together because I believe every buyer deserves to walk through this process feeling confident and informed, not overwhelmed. What you're about to watch is basically my full buyer consultation. I'm going to take you through the entire process from the cost to the escrow, what that means, and how to protect yourself every step of the way. I've also dropped some chapters below so you can skip to the part that you feel is most relevant to you. And if by the end you feel like I'm ready, I also have my buyer consultation link below so that you can schedule a free consultation with me. Let's get started. Before I start talking about the process or showings, I like to start my consultations the same way. I like to ask my buyers, why do you want to buy a home? I know it sounds simple, but it's very powerful. Your why is going to keep you grounded when things get stressful, because they usually do. For some people, their why is because they want financial stability, or they're tired of paying rent and paying into their landlord's mortgage. And for others, it's about long-term investment or finding the right neighborhood or backyard for their kids. There's no wrong answer for what your why is, but knowing your why is going to drive every decision that we make, from the neighborhood that we look at to how aggressive your offers are. In my buyer's guide, which you can grab below, there are 2 prompts that I ask every buyer to answer before we start our consultation. The first is, I want to buy a home because, and the second is, owning a home will make me feel. I know it sounds very touchy-feely, but it is really helpful for us to drive this process and constantly go back to that why as we take every step. Here's the first thing I tell buyers to do before we start looking at houses. Before you fall in love with something you see on Instagram or you start going to open houses on Sundays, get pre-approved. Here's why that matters. In this market, sometimes you'll fall in love with something and they'll have multiple offers. If we want your offer to stand out and be strong, and in order for a seller to take you seriously, we need your pre-approval letter. So what is a pre-approval? A pre-approval is when a lender pulls your credit, your income, your assets, your debt, and they say this buyer qualifies for X amount. Now, to be clear, a pre-approval is different than a pre-qualification, where a pre-qualification might be a statement when a lender says, based on the conversation we've had, this is what you would qualify for. A pre-approval takes it a step further. They've actually verified the income, they verified the assets, they verified everything that you have told them and say, we are confident that this person will qualify for this amount. I have a network with really great lenders that I have worked with, that I trust, and so if you don't have someone that you feel comfortable going to, I'm happy to share my network of lenders with you. Getting pre-approved also helps you understand your budget clearly. It helps you know what kind of payments you're going to feel comfortable making, especially for the lifestyle that you have. So I always tell buyers that going out and shopping without a pre-approval is almost like shopping with a credit card that you don't know the limit to. It's really important that we have these items done before we start looking so that we are making the best first step in this process. This one is really important, and honestly, it's something that a lot of buyers have questions about right now, so let me explain it clearly. As of August 17th, 2024, every real estate agent is legally required to have a signed buyer's representation agreement. If you've heard about this and have felt a little bit hesitant to sign, I completely understand. Signing an agreement before you ever go and take a look at a home can feel like a really big commitment. So let me explain what this actually means for you. This agreement makes me fully committed to you as your buyer's agent. It means I am committed to working with your best interest throughout the entire buying process. What does this mean in practice? It means that you get full access to my network, including properties that are off market before they hit Zillow. It also means that I will negotiate the best terms, the best price, the best conditions for you in this offer. It also establishes my commission rate, which is an important part of this agreement. Here's how commissions work. We will always ask the seller to pay my commission. And in most cases, the vast majority of sellers do agree to pay it. But in some cases where a seller may not be willing to pay the commission, the BRBC does establish that as the buyer, you are responsible for paying the commission. My commitment to you is that we will always pursue the seller's contribution first. I will always be upfront about what the seller is or is not willing to contribute, and we will always make the most informed decision together before you sign anything. Now for the fun part, actually finding your home. Now that we have your pre-approval letter and we've gone over your goals, I will set up a custom search for you. Not just on the MLS, but I'll also tap into my social media connections, as well as my network of other agents who might have something coming up before they are public. Before we go and take a look at anything, I'll ask you to think through two things. The features that matter most to you, like the bedroom count, the floor plan, the backyard, and the non-negotiables, like the school district that you're in or a neighborhood. There's a difference between wants and needs, and getting clear on that is going to save us from heartbreak down the road. My job is to get excited with you about the homes that are right and to be honest with you about the homes that might cost you more down the road. I'll schedule showings around your schedule, whether that is weekdays after work, evenings, or weekends, and if you see something that you really love, we'll move fast. You found the one, now what? This is where strategy comes in, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the job. Writing an offer is more than just the price. It's about contingencies, timelines, things that really matter to a seller, and these are things that a buyer may not even think about. Some of the things we'll discuss in the offer are your earnest money deposit, which is typically about 1% of the purchase price and shows the seller that you're serious. We'll also discuss timeline and contingencies, such as your inspection contingency and your appraisal contingency, which will protect you later on down the road if things don't go as planned. We will also discuss any sort of contingencies for the seller who might need to sell this to buy something else, or if you need to sell something in order to buy something, we'll talk about that as well. Once the offer is submitted, the seller will either accept, counter, or decline. If they counter, this is where the negotiation begins, and I will always advocate hard for you. My goal is to get you the best terms, price, and conditions as possible. Multiple offer situations are still happening in this market, and if we find ourselves in that situation, I will walk you through the best strategy to make your offer stand out without just increasing your purchase price. Your offer got accepted, congratulations. You are officially under contract. Now we enter what is called escrow. And this is where a lot of buyers start to feel anxious because all of a sudden, deadlines and documents are flying all over the place. Let me break down what a typical 30-day escrow looks like so you're never caught off guard. The moment your offer is accepted, escrow opens. Escrow is a neutral third party that is going to handle the coordination between the paperwork, the funds, and getting everything together between the buyer, the seller, the lender. They are basically Switzerland. Their job is to make sure everything is handled correctly. Within 3 days, your earnest money deposit is due. This is a good faith deposit, typically 1% of the purchase price, and it shows the seller that you are serious. The good news is this deposit is applied towards your down payment, so it's not an additional cost. The seller is legally required to disclose everything that they know about the property, from past leaks to insurance claims, neighborhood nuisances, anything that could be known as a material fact that would change your mind about whether or not you want to purchase this property. You'll have a chance to review these documents, and I will walk you through what to look for. Your inspection contingency is one of the most important protections you have as a buyer. During these first 17 days, we are going to schedule your general home inspection as well as your pest inspection. And if there are any further inspections that need to get done during this time, we'll get those scheduled as well. The goal is for you to make the most informed decision before you move forward. If inspections find issues, we can negotiate a repair or a credit with the seller. And here's the part that surprises most buyers. If you decide that you do not want to move forward after the inspections, we can cancel the contract and you can still get your initial deposit back. This protection goes away after we remove contingencies, so we are going to work fast. Your lender also has 17 days to finalize your approval. If for any reason at all you do not get approved, you once again can cancel and get your deposit back. Again, these protections go away after you remove your contingencies, so it's really important that you stay on top of it with your lender and you get them the items that they request same day that they request them. At day 17, you have a decision to make. Cancel the contract and get your full deposit back, or feel confident enough in the home and your inspections to move forward and formally remove your contingencies. I work hard to make sure that by day 17, you have all the information that you need to make that decision with confidence. Once you remove your contingencies, if something truly unexpected comes up, you're still able to cancel the contract, but at that point, you would forfeit your earnest money deposit. So day 17 is our checkpoint, and we'll walk through it together. A few days before closing, we'll do a final walkthrough. Our goal here is to make sure that any negotiated repairs were completed and that the home is in the same condition as it was the first day that you made the offer. No surprises. You sign final documents. the funds get transferred over, the deed gets recorded in your name, and then I hand you your keys. You've done it, you are officially a homeowner. I manage this process for you. The communication, the repairs, the paperwork. My job is to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. Closing day is honestly one of my favorite days. I love it every single time. You've done the work, you've gone through the process, now you are officially a homeowner. But there are a couple of things that I like to go through with every buyer, a short checklist of things to get done before you move into your home. First, change over your utilities, your trash, your water, your electricity, ideally a day or two before you move in, just so that nothing lapses. Next, update your address with the post office as well as your bank. My commitment to you does not end at the closing. I pride myself on maintaining real, genuine connections with all of my clients because through this process, most of the time, they do become genuine friends. So I'm always a call or text away, whether that's a question about the market, about your home, or referrals, anything that you need. And that is my full buyer consultation, everything that I would walk you through if you were sitting right across from me. My hope is that you're walking away from this video feeling less overwhelmed and more confident in this decision moving forward. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you can ever make, but it doesn't have to be stressful if you have the right people in your corner. If you're thinking about buying a home and you want to take the next step, I would love to sit down with you. Totally free, no pressure, no obligation. We're just going to go over your goals and how I could best help you in this process. The link to book your free buyer's consultation is going to be below this video. I'll also have my buyer's guide linked below as well. That's a free, beautiful resource for you to keep. And if you ever have any questions, my DMs are always open. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who's thinking about buying. And subscribe. I put out content regularly to help you navigate real estate with confidence.